This is bombers, I've had it in all sorts of conditions, and I want to make sure that it's right every time before I take it out. Good morning everyone, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to be checking my Terra Nova Southern Cross 1 and taking you through a few things that I check before I head out on a wild camp. I'm going to Snowdonia at the weekend, so you may have seen me check some things on another tent in a previous video. That was a Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, but this one is a Terra Nova Southern Cross 1. It's a bomber's tent. I just need to make sure everything's there before I go so that I don't have any issues when I get out into the mountains. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So let's turn this into the Terra Nova Southern Cross 1. We've got a fully functioning Terra Nova Southern Cross 1. First thing I want to check with this tent is that I've got a pole bag and a tent bag. They're both good, and I've got enough pegs to stake this down to the ground. So I've checked those already. Whilst I've been putting up the tent, I've been checking the outer layer to make sure that there's no holes in it, that this pole security sleeve isn't damaged, and that these clips that just clip on and off, that they work properly and they run the whole length of the tent. The poles are perfectly fine. Sometimes the ends can get a little bit burry, so you've got to sort of, you know, file them off a little bit to make them fit nice and snug, but that's fine. And then I've also been checking the guidelines, make sure they're all there, make sure that the little plastic loops are sorted. Don't want to be coming across any of them missing. If I am missing any of these guidelines, I always take at least one spare, so that if I get out and it is really windy and that one snaps, I can hunker down with another one and I'll just thread it straight through. Next thing then, we can open up the door and we can check the zip. So we'll just get that open. This one can be tied back with this little clip here, so always check that's there. Pop him up the top. There's another one as well. I always find if you pop this one above the other one instead of below it, it keeps the door nice and taut instead of sagging down too much. Zip looks fine, and then we'll come inside and we can check the inner tent. We can check this zip on the inner tent, make sure it goes all the way round. Yeah, make sure there's no snags in it, and make sure it opens fully. And then we can see the bathtub floor. So when we're in this tent, I always check the mesh, yeah, to make sure that there's no issues with that. There's no big gaping holes in it. And this mozzie screen, make sure that's intact as well. And from the inside, I can tell if any of these are missing, because I'll see the tent really sagging. It's sagging a little bit now, but when it's pegged out and fully taut to the ground, that sag will disappear. The bathtub floor, you can check that into the corners to make sure there's no rips and tears and that we're not going to get wet. And I just want to check to make sure that there's no rubbish being left from a previous wild camp, and that the ventilation at the ends fully opens like so. It's just 2 Velcro straps. Happy days. The reason that's so important, checking that those vents open up, is that this tent, the Terra Nova Southern Cross 1, and other tents, as you may already know if you're an avid wild camper, they tend to suffer a lot from condensation. I'm yet to find a tent that doesn't suffer from condensation. My Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2, that's very good, but it still does suffer with condensation. It's a 2-person tent, so if you've got 2 people in there, you're still going to get some condensation. This being a 1-person tent, yeah, it's quite small, it's quite compact, as you can see. Once you're inside it, there's not much space, but it's a comfortable tent for you to get out of the harsh weather conditions that we get here in the UK. This is bombers, I've had it in all sorts of conditions, and I want to make sure that it's right every time before I take it out. So with that all checked, yeah, we'll move on to another vital check, which I like to check especially on this tent, before I get out into the wild. So the next check and final check that I do on this tent is right down at the bottom near these poles where they go in to the outer and the inner. There's no worse thing than not having this done when you go out and find out that the tent's really sagging. This is the fix. So underneath this section here, and actually each pole section at the ends, you'll find a small clip. Yeah, it's just like the one you'd find on your backpack. It's really important that this clip, yeah, is done up for one, and then it's tightened fully, because what that does is it stretches out that base, yeah, and then essentially stops the inner from sagging so much. So I've checked each one of those on the corners of the tent. They're nice and tight. I will do another check on this tent tonight before I put it up, because there's nothing worse than having those loose, not realizing, and having a saggy tent through the night. It just increases condensation and it just makes the night hell. So there we go. That is the Terra Nova Southern Cross 1 on what I check before I go on a wild camp. If you've got any questions about this video or the Terra Nova Southern Cross 1, hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to every single one of you. The best way to stay updated on videos like this for hiking tips and other things is to make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.